Hi everyone, my name is Chantel and welcome back to another video. On the first Friday of May 2020 I started a new series which is creating 50 Harry Potter Matchbox Dioramas. I said I was going to do these dioramas every first Friday of every month. However, if a month has 5 Fridays instead of 4, I will create one extra Harry Potter diorama in that month. So because this month has 5 Fridays, today I will be creating the second Harry Potter diorama. I've got this little wooden box which I transformed into a wizarding trunk, and here is where I keep all the prompts for this project. So let's see what I will be creating this week. This is the last one. The first one. So let's give this a good shake. So there's still 49 in here right now. Let's go with this one. We are creating the 3 Broomsticks, which is a pub. So let's go. As with the last one, I created pieces of watercolor paper to go inside the box. I then measured where I wanted the windows to be, cut them out, and stuck the pieces of watercolor paper inside the box and cut out the windows in the box as well. This was just easier, so I didn't have to cut through 2 pieces of cardboard. I then lifted the watercolor paper again to put in a piece of acetate so it looks like a window. Or at least it looks like there's a window inside the window frame. I cut thin strips of cardboard, a bit thicker cardboard than the actual box, and stuck them inside horizontally so they look like wooden beams, as you can also see that in the pub. For this Matchbox miniature I went with how the 3 Broomsticks was recreated in the Wizarding World in Orlando, partly combined with how it looks in the movie. I drew on some brick texture with pencil on the inside and went over it with watercolor. I think I used a Payne's Grey and a dark brown for this. And I also painted the beams brown. And this is what the interior walls look like. I draw a lattice pattern on the windows, and then later on I also add some golden bars and a frame around the windows just to finish it all off, so you don't see the rough edges of the cutouts that I created. Then it's time to glue the box together. Here I am drawing the floor, just in pencil, going over it with watercolor, also Payne's Grey and the same brown that I used for the wall. And then I stick it inside the matchbox. If you haven't seen my previous and also the first Harry Potter Matchbox diorama, I will leave a link in the icon section so you can watch them, or you can watch the first one. This is me creating the stairs like I also did in the first diorama. They just both happen to have stairs. I believe lots of these shops have stairs. Also Hogwarts itself has stairs with the moving staircases. So I will be making a lot of these. I basically just cut out little tiny pieces of cardboard, thick cardboard, glued them together, painted them with brown watercolor paint and let it dry. And now I'm moving on to the railing, the hand railing of the stairs, which I measure out by tracing around the stairs themselves, drawing lines up and making a little railing at the top as well, and then cutting it out with my X-Acto knife. I add little dots of PVA glue to the base of the railing and glue them onto the stairs. I do the same with the other side. And then it's time to glue the stairs inside the matchbox. I also created these two landings, which are basically made in the same way, and I glue them next to the staircase as well. Next up is the giant fireplace you can see at the 3 broomsticks. I cut an arch out of a piece of cardboard and line up a little piece of cardboard on the sides so I can give it a little bit of a dimension. I paint the wall which the fireplace is going to be against in a grey, and then I also paint the fireplace itself on the inside with a darker grey and on the outside with a lighter grey. I made this tiny little cauldron. In the process of making this little thing, I lost one, the first one I created. It just flew away and it was never found since. It must have been magic or something. Anyway, after making this second one, I glue it inside with a piece of very thin cardboard and place the fireplace inside the matchbox. Then I'm moving on to even more landings, as you can also see that in the 3 broomsticks in Orlando, as well as in the movies, that there's various landings and various levels. So I'm adding this one and another one on top. You can find a list of all the materials used in my Amazon link below. I have an Amazon storefront and everything can be found there. So the 3 broomsticks is basically a replica of the leaky cauldron. I don't think that's exactly right. I think in the movie the leaky cauldron is definitely different, but in the leaky cauldron, as described in one of the movie books that I've got, describing all the process behind the scenes stuff, the 3 broomsticks has antlers on the wall and the leaky cauldron has animal heads on the wall. So there you go, that's what I just created. And now I'm creating a table, and I've also created these 2 little chairs to go with the table. I recently put up a poll on my community tab on my channel. I want to create a 1/12 scale Harry Potter miniature, and I'm letting you decide what it should be. I'll leave a link to the poll in the description box below so you can vote after this video. Again, I've painted these with brown watercolor paint, as I've used for all the painted things inside this miniature. I also wanted to have a little bar inside this miniature because it is a pub, and a pub without a bar, can you call it a pub? I don't think so. And this is it for the inside, and let's move on to the outside. So for the outside of this Matchbox diorama, I decided to stay true to the 3 broomsticks as seen in Orlando. I started off by drawing on these tiny little roofs. Then moving on to drawing in some brick texture to give it a little bit more interest. I then cut out all the tiny little windows, which was a bit of a pain to do, but I'm really happy with the result. Moving on to the coloring, I painted the rooftops white and the background a dark grey. To make the windows look like they are real windows that reflect, I added some acetate to the back. I also drew in the iconic entrance, as you can see in Orlando in Florida, and add some details with a white gel pen. Then finally I'm adding the outside cover to the box. Let's see what it looks like, everything put together. And this is it for the second Harry Potter Matchbox Diorama. I am not sure if this will ever be one of my favorites, but it needed to be included in the Matchbox Diorama series. If you like this, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. Make sure to check out my socials, support me on Patreon, and hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Oh, and don't forget to vote in the poll via the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!